This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the town of North Haven.
Good evening. Welcome to the September 2020 meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners for the town of North Haven. My name is Larry Lazaroff, Chairman. To my left is Vice Chairman Robin Wilson. To my right is Secretary Mark Calafiore, Commissioner Alden Mead, and Commissioner Robert Hannon. Can I have approval for the minutes for the August 25th meeting, both regular and executive?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. May I have approval for the minutes of September 1st, 2020 special meeting?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Calafiore, any correspondences?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just one piece tonight. It's just from the Chiarleglio family to Chief McLaughlin and the rest of the PD for providing escort for a funeral to All Saints. So from the Chiarleglio family, Valerie, Anthony, Gary, Stephen, very thankful, for your thoughtfulness and support during this difficult time. So that's it right now.
Great, thank you.
Actually,
Sure.
I'd like to say one thing,
Sure.
just on a side note. It's actually a praise too. So our neighborhood, me and Robbins, got hit pretty hard by the tornado. So I just want to send a thanks out and appreciation to the Public Works, that North Haven Public Works did a terrific job. They were out there that night, and just really appreciate what they did. And they cleared a lot of it, not just brush, but we're talking trees, huge trees, all over our neighborhood. So again, thank you to the North Haven Public Works for their effort that night and their continuing effort. They're out there every day now, and they're still picking a lot of stuff up. So.
Yeah, I'll follow up with that because they're coming down our neighborhood now, and I'll tell you, that's big work. Let me tell you, big branches, it's a
Yeah, I
lot
don't
of
know who
work.
the director is. I think it's maybe
Mike Maturo?
Or Maturo.
Mike Maturo.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they're doing a nice job out there.
yeah, they're doing a great job.
They
So
deserve the
him
praise, so
and
thank you.
his men and women that are.
And a thank you to our first selectman as well, because he got on it right away, and, we got the electric back within 3 days, and
Mhm.
And just to piggyback on what you said, the amount of work that's out there for even the police who are standing.
Sure.
Working around the public works people. It's a phenomenal job.
It really was, and it was like an EF1 tornado, so it went right through my backyard. So it was
Mine too.
our ours too. So our neighborhood got really hit really hard. So again, just thanks again to the
Excellent.
men and women. But thank you.
Thank you. Okay, for Chairman's report, we've had a very busy month here in the police department. We've had the announcement of the retirement of our Chief McLaughlin. We'll talk about that later. We've had a appointment of a new chief. Deputy Chief Glenn will be our new chief beginning October 1st. We've also appointed a new deputy. Captain Lofquist will become the new deputy chief. These are all very exciting things now in the town of North Haven. Since then, we've also gotten the new dog, and we'll hear more about that from the chief, I'm sure. School has started, and the SROs are in place, and though it started as a hybrid situation, we're seeing how it goes, and we'll hopefully continue with the school year. And that being said, we're entering the season of Halloween and walkers to school, and piggybacking on what Commissioner Calafiore said, there's a lot of debris still on the road, however. And so please, I caution all the drivers, not only for Halloween, but anytime, because it's very obstructed views in a lot of areas of town. We want to be safe. We don't want to hurt anybody. And it's very important that we heed these warnings of the police and just good common sense to take care and be careful. That's all. And that being said, I'll turn it over to the chief.
Okay, so just real quick, as far as our PSA, just to spin off of you as far as the traffic and the opening of the schools. As we reminded everyone last month, and we kind of bring that back again this time, there's going to be more buses on the road. As of yesterday, the Elementary went back in for in-school session, in-class session. So, you have to really just exercise care, because it's been a long time since we've seen school buses. It's been March. So, let's just be very, very careful and extra cautious. Also, as far as an added PSA, and it was something we had put out this past week, and that was about a drug cartel scam where people are reaching out to some of our residents, and they are basically intimidating them or threatening them with some type of violence if they don't make some type of a contribution in the form of money to this cause. Basically, there's a lot of information out there on all of us in the public, through the internet. There's a lot of open source information. So, any one of us could be contacted by anyone that's looking to scam us, whether they're saying that they're with this a drug cartel, or whether they're got your grandkid or your niece or nephew out of state in an accident. Just everybody, just be wise, and just if you have an issue or you got a concern, call us and we'll look into it real quick for them and we get back. But hate to see people lose money, for something along this line.
Yeah, Chief, if you don't mind, there's also been a scam going around that people didn't tell me about. Actually, I was walking last night just campaigning, and they were telling me about a Social Security scam. They're getting calls from, they say, the Social Security office that they want information, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know if you've gotten those kind of calls yet as well in the department, but just so you know, those are not correct. They're not going to call you.
Right.
They're going to send you a letter. So please be aware of that as well.
Unsolicited phone calls, and that's a good add-on. There's been many of these types of things before. They're unsolicited. They come to your home. They call your home. They'll contact you by computer, through an email, or something along that line. You just have to be careful. And if you think something's not right, you probably isn't. As far as our budget, we finished the month of August, and we were about 2.5% under, which is a good thing, because we're probably going to have some added expenditures during the course of the fiscal year, and I'll explain it a little bit later. Maybe something that spins off the tornadoes you spoke about a few minutes ago. We still want to alert our residents, business owners, to exercise the use of the PPE as far as the and safe distancing. We recently, this past week, we received some direction from the governor, and I guess now they're going to reinforce that with fines for people that should be wearing them. So everybody should just be aware of it. As the commissioner mentioned, the tornado that came through town hit us pretty good. About 40% of the town was without power for the better part of 2.5 days anyway. Commissioner Calafiore is correct in stating that the Public Works did a nice job in getting out there and getting things moved and open the roadways. And added kudos as well to the UI. They got us back up and running. And it was 2 days. I was out for basically 2 days, 44 hours, I think it was, which seems like a long time, but when you saw the devastation by driving through town and seeing some of these monster trees that were just uprooted, and the roads that were closed, 2 days, which might have seemed like a long time, was really nothing. We were very, very fortunate. No one was killed. It came through town right at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right at the rush hour. So we were very fortunate. Nobody was killed. Nobody was seriously injured. So that was somebody's been putting the right amount of money in the basket on Sunday. And just to spin off on that, as far as the budget stuff, one of the things that we have to do on our end is we have to provide for some of the traffic control for emergency operations with the UI company. So when the UI company comes in on storms such as Isaiah, the tropical storm, the tornado, anything like that, it's incumbent upon us to pick up the tab for the traffic control because it's an act of God, so to speak. It's not a planned maintenance on their behalf. So we had to take care of that. We also had to put some traffic control out for the highway department when they were out there moving some of these trees, and that still continues. And we'll also have that run right into our leave season. So next month you might see an uptick in the overtime. I think in the end you'll probably be okay at the end of the fiscal year, but you might see something that looks like a little bloated balloon. That's the reason for it. So you don't have to beat up the new chief too bad. I'll take the blame for that. Since our last meeting, we had 4 drug overdoses. None of them were fatal, thankfully, and we did have one Narcan save out of the 4. One of the officers that had the Narcan. Vehicle thefts, again, we had 3 unlocked, keys in the car. So we asked, again, you have to please lock your cars, take your car keys with you, take your fobs with you. If you think you have your car keys with you, just double check and look in your glove box or in your console. You may have the courtesy key or the valet key. That might be stuck somewhere in your manual. So just added precautions there. Same thing with vehicle burglaries. There were 26, all of them were unlocked. So this is something that could, if you simply, from your living room, dining room, bedroom window, if your car's out in the driveway or out in the street, just hit your lock. Make sure the light blinks so you know what off, they're locked up and you'll be good. The shoplifting is kind of an interesting little tidbit. We had 25 reported this last month. We've had a pretty big uptick in that. I have to look at that and see why, but my guess is, there are people that are still out of work, and this is something that's probably going to follow us through the holiday season.
Mm-hmm. Is it mostly down the south end of town, or is it?
A lot of Home Depot, a lot of Target.
So south end, the big box stores, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of them have gotten, the 2 of them in particular got a little violent, so they became robberies because they were, violence was used.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be I think that's going to be the holiday. I think that's going to follow us through the first of the year.
Mm.
As you mentioned, the new dog has arrived, and he is quickly becoming acclimated to our staff and our building, and he is scheduled to go to the academy on the 29th of October. So that got pushed back a little bit because of the COVID. We do have some crossing guard positions that are open. If we know of anybody, or if there's anyone listening that has an interest in doing some school crossings, crossing guard positions, we have 2 that are open right now, unless somebody came in today.
So, Chief, let me ask you a question. So, what do? Do you have a police officer there since there's no crossing guard?
Correct.
Okay. And that's an officer on duty, or it's an overtime job?
Well, somebody that's on duty.
Okay.
Right. And but we like to get that crossing guard
Sure.
filled. That
Which schools are you looking to fill?
the high school and the middle school. And then that person, one or the other, goes down to Montelise and takes a position later on at 9 o'clock or 8:30
Okay.
at Montelise Manor.
They require special training and all, or?
Oh, we give it. And I do have a request for a road closure for Halloween night for a private function. It's a neighborhood, it's Stevens Court. It's off of Jennifer Drive. It is a cul-de-sac. There's roughly, there's probably 8 houses there. But since Halloween is, well, we know that trunk or treat, I believe it's been canceled. My guess is there's probably not gonna be a lot of kids going trick or treat on Halloween with COVID still hanging around. So these folks wanted to have their own little function or party for their neighbors. It's a quiet street. It wouldn't impact us at all. We've done it before for others. So I would just need to have some approval from.
I think it's a good idea. Anybody have any comments on that?
What are the hours of that one?
I don't have the hours. I think it was perhaps 5 to 10, somewhere there. But, you know.
It's a cul-de-sac. It's quiet, yeah, so.
Do you need a motion on that?
Yeah, we'll need a motion. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
No, second.
We grant that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And as far as the other traffic issue, we did recently just get some stop sticks for all of the, were they all new or just the ones we're missing?
Just the missing ones.
So every one of the cruisers, marked police vehicles, the regular ones, have stop sticks in there. Stop sticks would just be thrown out if there was a pursuit coming.
Right.
And you want to stop it. It punctures the tires and it's a slow air release, which is a controlled stop.
There's no lifespan on these things, is there? I mean, they don't, if you don't use them like in 2 years?
No.
Oh,
But once
okay.
you use them, you would have to
Right.
replace the, it's like a quill.
It's a one and done deal, but they have a life expectancy if they're not used forever then.
Right.
Okay.
Do you have any recommendations as far as Halloween from the police department as to trick or treating practices?
Yeah, I would think that the chief would probably put that out at the next meeting,
Okay.
because that I believe would be the week before. I think that's when we normally do it. As far as how to dress, the lighting,
But I mean, just with COVID.
So I think the CDC has some basic guidelines, but the governor today said that he hasn't come out with the statewide recommendations yet.
Okay, I did hear that also, and I've seen things from shoots to, all kinds of ideas on how to get the candy out there, but, okay, I didn't know if the town had anything. And
what else do we have here? As far as the Burglaries scholarships, I do not have any for this month. But we do have a swearing in on the 1st that we want everybody to be able to come to. October 1, swearing in Chief Glenn. That'll be at 4 o'clock in the front steps of the building because we can't get people into this building and we want to be somewhat compliant. If there's any violators, we'll have to put them on the sidewalk. But and if it's inclement weather, the game plan is to have a tent at least to cover the chief and his family and the town dignitaries, which would be you, and everybody else can have an umbrella.
So just to clarify, you don't mean everybody like the town, you mean the town.
Yeah,
I mean us, yeah,
the
exactly.
police department, they all, I'm sure want
Exactly.
to show up.
Because-
And, we just want to make sure that we
Right.
are,
Right. We'd like to open up to the town, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's because of the COVID, it's impossible.
yeah, can't do
So I just wanted to clarify that.
And then the only other things I think I have right now would be for the executive session.
Anybody have any questions, comments?
I'm good.
I'm good? Okay. With that, do I hear a motion to adjourn to executive session for discussion of personnel matters?
I so moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We are back into executive session, open session at 6:35. And our first promotion is for captain. Do I have a motion for promotion to captain?
I'll make a motion for Andrew Stavridis.
Okay.
Lieutenant Stavridis.
I'll
Excellent.
second that.
And we all were unanimous in decision. Andrew has done a tremendous job, well-deserving his position, so congratulations. Andrew, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, thank you. The next promotion up for discussion is lieutenant. Do I have a motion for promotion of lieutenant?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
that.
And the motion would be?
Joe Wasnick for lieutenant.
Second.
Seconded, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Again, unanimous, congratulations. An outstanding job you do as well. And we were looking forward to have you in that position. Going into our third and last opening to be filled will be for sergeant. Do I have a motion for promotion to sergeant?
I'd like to make a motion for Maurice Martin for the position of sergeant.
I'll second that.
Excellent, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Again, a unanimous decision. Congratulations, Maurice, a well-deserved promotion. Looking forward to work with you. One item we have is a continuation from last month. Upon the chief's retirement, he has expressed an interest to becoming an SRO for the town of North Haven to fill in certain vacancies that might occur at times. May I have a motion to put retired Chief Tom McLaughlin as an SRO for town of North Haven?
I would make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations. You're still on board, Chief. We're not letting you go.
But no, you work for Peggy.
Is there any other business to discuss before we close? Anybody? Okay. Well, before closing, this is Chief McLaughlin's last meeting as police chief of town of North Haven. And I'd like to take a few moments to thank him very much for his service. 42 years. Amazing. FBI Academy graduate. Fantastic. You have held every position in his department, from cadet through chief. You know the ins and outs of the entire place. We have CALIA accreditation under your watch. We have body cameras ahead of mandated body cameras. We have dogs. We have a brand new state-of-the-art building under your watch as well in leadership. You've had the good fortune of mentoring not one, but two future police chiefs, Chief Mulhern and soon-to-be Chief Kevin Glenn. Quite an accomplishment. You've always put public safety ahead of your family life. The town is forever indebted to you, as we are. We've all learned a lot from you, and we want to thank you very, very much for your service. Hope you have a healthy and happy retirement, and enjoy the rest of our position as well. Anybody else like to say something?
I just wanted to say I've only known you for 2 out of those 42 years, but I've learned a tremendous amount from you. I've enjoyed you. I've gotten to know you and really respect who you are and how much you know and what you've done with this department. So thank you.
Thank you.
Just a couple words on your behalf. I mean, I've known you for quite a long time. I've known your brother Bobby even longer. He was a sergeant in New Haven. He was my instructor back in 1988. So I've known you and your family for quite a long time. Just as a retired New Haven police lieutenant, you know, I just have maybe a little bit of an appreciation for you know, the emotions you might be feeling right now. You know, it's bittersweet. Felt like that with me. You know, it's great to retire, but I'm sure you're gonna miss, you know, the men and women. You're gonna miss the job as I did. So congratulations, and you know, you're well respected, and it's to be a police chief. Sometimes you're just respected by the community, and you're hated by the guys, or vice versa. It's hard to get that balance of both, strike the right balance, and I have to say you did that superb, amazing job, because you're well respected, well liked by pretty much the entire community and, you know, the entire department. So it's really a testament to your leadership style and quality, and it's just really, and I mean that from the heart, and I'm just speaking from the heart, and I'm speaking right off the cuff, but you know, And, and it was my pleasure to serve as police commissioner with you for, the last, 15, 16, 17 years I've been doing this. So you're a true leader, and, you're a mentor to Kevin, and I know he speaks very highly of you, and you've mentored a lot of other, like the chairman said, you've mentored, John Mulhern, who's the chief now in Brantford. Kevin's gonna be here, and, it's a great job, and, 42 years is a long time. I did 22, I thought it was a long time, but 42 is a real long time. So congratulations, and we'll see you around.
I'll be around.
That crossing guard job doesn't sound too bad, you know what I mean? To get out of the house a couple hours a day.
I get in trouble.
I might do that.
Get suspended on at people.
Yeah. Congrats, Chief. Congrats.
I've just been around a couple of years with you, but it's so special. And I have to say, from the first time I walked in the old building and even now the new building, the one thing I noticed, I was so impressed with how much everybody respected and cared about you, which comes from clearly how much you cared about everybody here always and everybody in town. And I grew up, with, I wasn't allowed to say cops because my dad was a police officer, but I grew up surrounded by cops, and I was a cop myself, and now I'm among them again. And you're like the epitome of what the top cop is, of everyone I've ever known. And on top of that, I just have to say that you're not only a smart, decent, caring person, but you have the humility that makes a really special leader. That's all.
Very good. I just want to congratulate you on your retirement. Best wishes, and for what you've certainly made your mark here in the town of North Haven and in this police department. And you're certainly going to be missed by many. And congratulations again. And we'll see you at restaurants, I hope.
I appreciate it, and I thank you all for, allowing me to work here. It's been a great. It goes time. The time goes fast. Once you hit that 20-year mark, 25-year mark, everything is. It's like it's on steroids. It's super fast. But I like to think that I was good to the town. The town has been very good to me in return. It's a two-way street. Try to share that with everybody here on the staff, to get them into that same mindset. But I think we got a good culture, and the culture is, it's with you folks. Obviously, we have a first selectman that's very public safety friendly and supportive. People in town have always been supportive of law enforcement. So it makes the job a lot easier, and that all transcends and trickles down to the newest person on the street, and that's what we're charged with. So thank you for your kind words. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, we would like to salute you, Chief, as we adjourn.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.